Hello, welcome back to the Piping Pastor. Today, just having another little chat about life. And I am smoking my Kingsfoil by Country Squire that I recently acquired in my Mearsome Churchwarden. This is actually the second time I've smoked this Kingsfoil. It's really lovely. I was lamenting in my last video the fact that I had chosen the wrong beverage to go with my other uh, uh, Country Squire tobacco that I purchased, which was the Green Dragon. Green Dragon was a Virginia blend, and it's a great blend, but it's sweet and light and complex. And the coffee I choose to drink is really rather dark and black, and it was really kind of nearly overriding the experience of the Virginias. So I'm happy to say that I can stick to my coffee this time and not switch to tea because Kingsfoil has a bit more stoutness to it. It's a Virginia Kentucky blend and stands right up to the coffee, but it's not overpowering. It's not overbearing. It's really rather nice, and it was an interesting experience when I smoked my first bowl of this. The volume of smoke that I was getting was tremendous. It was almost like I was smoking like a burley or something. Uh, so this time I was like, well, let me use the Churchwarden rather than my shorter Boswell pipe. Try to keep the smoke out of my eyes while I'm doing this video. Well, this is really nice. Definitely going to enjoy getting back into my copy of Coleridge here after I finish this video with the other half of this pipe. Well, the video I did this last time was on knowing yourself. Today I want to talk about being teachable. You should always make an effort to be teachable. There is a tendency among people of certain experience, certain education levels, certain age, to occasionally think that we cannot learn anything from those with a lower level of education, less experience, or younger. Not even necessarily younger in age. It could be younger in particular experience of whatever it is that we're interested in. As a result, we spend a lot of time when we could be listening and learning, trying to verify someone's credentials. Who are you to tell me something about A, B, or C, right? In the YouTube pipe smoking community, we have several presenters, and some have been doing this for a great long while, and others not. Pipe smokers like Dread Tiger, who began smoking a pipe. I think I saw one of his videos. He said he started smoking a pipe in 1976. It's like, well, I was 1 year old when you began smoking a pipe, so um, a great deal more about this hobby than I do about tobaccos and pipes and all these various different things that go into this, making this wonderful hobby. But it doesn't mean that someone who just started smoking a pipe last year could bring some information that I could use. Could be that they have a particular pipe that they smoke that I have never done, or just their take on pipe smoking, just their view of it based on their own life experience. You have to realize that although someone may not have the same breadth or depth of experience in a particular hobby, their area of expertise may be different. Their life experience is also vastly different than yours, which means they have a different worldview, which means they understand things a little bit differently than you do. And that means that they can offer you something, if nothing else, an added perspective to your own views. This was brought home to me recently. I had a rare Sunday off where I wasn't preaching and I wasn't serving. I could literally just, go and listen to someone else preach. And the person preaching, and I starting to say the young man preaching, but I'm not going to do that because I think that it gives the impression that, oh, this cute young kid doing something I thought was adorable. That's not what it was. He was a younger gentleman. But the word he brought was good. The perspective he brought was good. Now, do I have more life experience than him? Yes. I've been married longer. I have older children. I've been in ministry longer. I have several higher degrees. I've served in missions across the world, and he hasn't. I've pastored churches of various different sizes, and he hasn't. I can go through that whole list of ways in which I am the more experienced preacher, the more experienced and educated theologian, the more experienced man, and look at someone who is of that age and of that level of experience and say, well, what could you possibly teach me? I've been where you are. I've gone past where you are. I've already learned those lessons. What do you have for me? Right? And I'm sure that many of you can do the same thing, whatever your area of expertise is. If you are a woodworker and you've been working with wood for 50 years, and some person recently takes up the hobby and is watching videos and decides that they want to start doing presentations of their work, you may be tempted to watch that person working at the lathe or um, finishing off a very simple birdhouse. And you can say, well, what can that person have to teach me? Right? That's where you really need to dial in. Francis Clooney is a great scholar of interfaith conversations and pluralism. And one of his quotes that I really enjoy is I can always better understand my faith in light of someone else's. So the view of Christianity that a Hindu may have, the view of Christianity that a Muslim may have, or a follower of the Baha'i faith, they understand things differently, they view things differently. So you can learn something through their views. And we can apply that lesson to anything in life. You see, when we stop being teachable, when we start thinking that we got this, or at the very least we have more than most anybody else does, and there's fewer and fewer people that can teach us, well, then we allow ourselves to be taught less and less. And then we learn less and less. We become stodgy, we become stiff, we become hemmed in by our own views because we assume we are at the apex of learning or experience and whatever it is that we're involved with. When you stop learning, it's when you stop growing. Now, there may be many people out there that you know more than. It's not to say that someone's going to completely change your views on everything in light of their experience, but not even allowing the opportunity to learn based on someone's track record or someone's resume really only limits you. So take some time to think about whoever is talking to you about whatever subject. And don't just line up their resume in your mind and do a comparative analysis between your level of experience and their level of experience. Rather, sit and listen to what they have to say and really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Don't tune them out thinking about something else. Really listen. Give them the opportunity to teach. Give yourself the opportunity to continue to learn. Always be teachable. Well, that is it for this time. I'm going to turn my attention back to this lovely bowl of tobacco. Have a great week, and as always, happy reading.